Want to get back to Bitcoin now because investors, as we know, have been dumping Bitcoin in droves. The latest figures from Coinbase find that $141 million was pulled out of Bitcoin investment products during the most recent week. And we know that the price of Bitcoin has been sliced by more than half. It was at a peak of about $64,000 earlier this year. Now some analysts are saying it could hit $20,000 in the not too distant future. Meantime, Ether has emerged the digital currency of choice for investors, at least for now. Here to talk about it is Gareth Soloway, president and CFO of InTheMoneyStocks.com. Gareth, good to have you here. First, let's just break down why investors have suddenly soured on Bitcoin. Are there technical issues at play here, or is there news that's leading that?
There's definitely some news. So you have the crackdown in China on cryptocurrencies as China wants to kind of shift the future of the reserve currency to the digital yuan. So they obviously don't want Bitcoin to take over. And then you also have fundamental issues of just an overcrowded trade when it was trading up near $65,000. And then I think the recent drop, it's amazing to kind of view it in terms of the meme stocks and how the cryptocurrencies took a leg lower here just as the money flow moved from them into those meme stocks. And my guess is Bitcoin sees a little bit more upside in the next week or two as those meme stocks maybe stall out. But it's a fascinating rotation of capital going on back and forth from crypto to meme, back to crypto, and so forth.
So, Gareth, curious to know if you see some of these dips here as buying opportunities, a place to really get into Bitcoin, for example, or do you think that folks should wait a little bit until some lower levels might appear?
So that's a fantastic question, and it really comes down to time frame. So again, my expectation is that Bitcoin could trade back into the mid 40s to close to 50,000 range in the near term. But ultimately, you still need to see a washout of Bitcoin where everyone kind of freaks out and throws the baby out with the bathwater type mentality. So again, if you're a shorter term investor, I do think there's some upside here. I think again yesterday you had that dip to 31,000, but it never took out the 30,000 low. That's the level on a technical basis that you want to follow. If it takes out 30,000, it's going to 25,000 and 20. As long as it holds 30,000, it could trade up here in the near term before another sharp move lower.
Alexis, I'm not sure if maybe we're not hearing you right now, but I've got another one for you, Gareth.
I'm back.
I thought I shocked her so
I'm
much
back.
with my projections.
That's what happens when you have to clear your throat and you put yourself on mute during broadcasting from home. I know we've all been there. So I'm back, and I have a question for you. El Salvador has chosen Bitcoin to be its first currency, to be the first cryptocurrency to be legal tender. What does that do for the legitimacy of Bitcoin? And are you surprised we're not even seeing bigger upside here after an announcement like that?
I'm not terribly surprised, mainly because El Salvador isn't a major country when it comes to money inflowing into Bitcoin. If you saw that announcement from, European Union countries or the UK or the US or China, that would be earth-shattering. But again, when you're talking about these smaller countries, it's not going to have the monetary impact that investors would hope. Now, is it a move in the right direction? Yes. Do I think it's telling us that eventually, years down the line, you will see a greater adoption? Absolutely. So again, I'm a huge bull long term in Bitcoin. I just am sitting patiently waiting for that bigger flush out to start accumulating.
So, Gareth, I do want to know here if you think that there are just broader knock-on effects of some of the speculation and some of the gambling that we are seeing in the markets right now. Emily, just a few moments ago was highlighting how some of these Reddit traders are piling into some of these stocks. Athlon Medical is up right now 350%. It ran up in just 24 hours. Are there broader impacts to the markets as a whole, considering that this kind of trading behavior is going on right now?
Yeah, there definitely are broader implications. I think in the short term, it's a positive, but it's a very limited positive. So you have investors who are making a lot of money in the near term here. They may go out and spend more money, so it has a stimulative effect on the economy. But, if you're looking at something like an AMC, I remember when it traded 750 billion shares last week, the average entry price was $65, and those traders are already down on the stock. So I do think that it's a bigger negative than positive over the longer term here as those stocks start to come to more realistic levels. So I'd be concerned with it. I think, again, it mimics back to the dot-com bubble. It mimics to things we saw in the real estate, crash, or prior to the real estate crash in 2007. And as a longer term economist and trader, it is something that I have on my radar that's making me more careful in this market, selecting my long positions very carefully and lowering my share size.
All right, Gareth Soloway of InTheMoneyStocks.com. Thanks for being with us today.